So here's a video I actually haven't seen on YouTube, surprisingly. I don't know why any guys haven't done it. I actually have some sound clips of the new Ford Raptor. There's a couple little revving clips, but no actual sound clips under load in the different actual exhaust modes, individually, kind of flybys, drive-bys, revving. Seen guys kind of revving it sitting still, and that's really it. And personally, if I'm gonna be purchasing a truck, I watch hundreds of videos on it and try and figure out how it sounds, how it looks, inside out, all the actual details on it, show you what this thing's all about and how it actually sounds stock coming straight from the factory. But quickly, before we get into that, if you haven't seen, yes, I'm giving away my 2020 CRF 250. Every $5 spent gives you one entry to win this thing, like all my other giveaways that I've done. Top link in the description to my website. If you didn't see my last video, the winner will get some brand new graphics thanks to New England Graphics. It'll be all custom to them, however they want it. They can pick out everything, get their custom number, custom kit. But as I've shown, this thing's really clean. It's a 2020. Not trying to hide anything. Like I've said, it's got 41.5 hours. Thing's still pretty much brand new. I'll fire it up here in a minute. I'll use the same clip as last video of me revving it and giving a little other run over. Have it. Obviously this thing runs good. Wouldn't have any worries with somebody, like I said, riding this thing for a long time. It's time to move on to something different. Get a feel for something else next year. So a lot of you have probably seen it's got the full system Yoshimura exhaust. It's got the REDSHIFT sprocket, which will last you forever. And aside from that, it's pretty much stock. Traction seat cover. I'm gonna swap out some parts, freshen this thing up fully for whoever wins it. Get some new grips, a couple other new parts on here. And I mean, regardless, this thing is ready to go for whoever wins it. Hop on it, ride it, have a good time. But without further ado, let's jump into this thing. Thanks to Town & Country Ford in Alabama. They got me set up with some KMC wheels already. So this thing's fitted up with some zero offset, so it's nice and flush with the actual fenders. Unlike before, they're tucked in, and this is like the perfect setup. I haven't taken off the graphics yet. Gotta take them off the hood. Back graphics showing the 37 in the Raptor. It's a little bit too flashy for me. I'd rather it be like low key. Don't need to say Raptor on the side for you to know it's a Raptor. Let's fire this thing up and hear how it sounds. I think this defaults to the normal mode, so it's not in like the Baja mode when it fires up. It's got a nice little startup. Let's get going and get a couple sound clips. Finally got myself a custom wallet too, thanks to the Ridge for sponsoring this video. Got some fancy carbon fiber to match the carbon fiber in the truck, along with a sweet new knife, which is also carbon fiber. Thanks to the Ridge, I'm fully set up now. These new minimalist wallets are really nice, really thin and kind of not bulky like a traditional wallet. Slips in your pocket really easy, in and out, and you don't have to carry around one of those big bulky wallets anymore. I've personally used the Ridge wallet for years now, and I wouldn't ever use anything different, to be honest with you guys. They sponsored a video a few years back, and I've used that one ever since, and recently hit me up to do another sponsored video, and now we got a fancy carbon fiber one. Super easy to get your cards in and out. Slides back in, slide them out super easy. Pick the card you need, put them all away, super nice. If you want to pick up a Ridge wallet for yourself, it's the top link in my description. Go to theridge.com/Tyler and use my coupon code Tyler at checkout to get 10% off your first order. Thank you to the Ridge for sponsoring this video. Let's hear some exhaust sounds on this thing. Different exhaust modes. It's got the button on the steering wheel right here. Once you press this, it pops up on the screen. The button, and it all pops up. You can pick between the quiet, normal, sport mode, and then the Baja off-road mode, which says off-road use only. You gotta clear it. Not sure if it makes a difference. I have it in the actual sport mode. You can pick between the modes right here, between normal, deep snow sand, Baja, rock crawl mode. I haven't really messed around with any other modes, but sport mode. So I'll do a couple revs in all the modes. I'll put on the screen what actual mode it's in, and then a couple drive-bys to see how it sounds with that. Let me know what you think of the sound. I don't think it needs to be any louder. I think for stock, it's perfectly fine. We'll see if they actually come out with aftermarket exhaust for this thing, but for right now, I think it sounds pretty good stock, so let's finally hear this thing. second too, having it in neutral might let me actually rev higher, but as you can see, it stops at about 4,000 RPM, so can't really rev it higher than that. There's a couple little revs just sitting here. We'll do a couple flybys, a couple things with the paddle shifter, see if it makes a difference, and you can get a better gauge on how this thing actually sounds than just revving it to 4,000. Do it in the same order as before. Start out in quiet mode and working up to Baja mode. That took forever to film. We got all the exhaust sounds, we got cars behind me. We'll hop back in the truck and we'll get some in-cabin sound. The last thing to do is we'll get a little in-cabin sound. We'll put it in the manual mode so you can use the paddles and stuff. What I've found is obviously you can rev it a little bit higher, and then like the first to third on the shifts is when it's pretty much the loudest in Baja mode. Pretty much drive around always in Baja mode or sport mode. Sport and Baja is pretty much the same thing. Surprisingly, they're pretty responsive for being like a pickup truck. I thought they'd be a lot more laggy when you click it and it'd take a lot more time to click into gear. Surprised me a lot when I actually use the thing. But with the Baja mode, if you can't tell, there's a lot more drone, in-cabin drone, especially just cruising, but it's definitely bearable. It's not that bad. And then if it's annoying, you just turn it on normal mode and it just goes right away. Like I said, I don't know how much louder I would want it to be. I've never heard it like outside. I've only heard it inside driving, but I think it's at that nice little sweet spot where it has some noise, but it's not annoying to actually drive all the time. Surprisingly for a truck, it's actually kind of fun to drive than like a normal F-150. You got a little sound, and I feel like my other F-150 might be a little bit quicker, but I'd have to drive both back to back to really see. Regardless, at the end of the day, it's a truck. It doesn't have to be stupid fast. I don't really care. I didn't buy a truck to go fast. There's gonna be comments, should have bought a TRX. If I wanted a TRX, I would have bought a TRX. If you didn't know, a TRX is a Ram, Dodge. I'm not sure if a lot of you know that, but so personally, I think the quiet mode is pretty much what a stock F-150, 3.5 liter F-150 sounds like. I'm not sure if the 2.7 sounds the same, but the quiet mode is essentially a stock F-150. And then all the other modes, it sounds a lot better than what a stock F-150 would sound like. But it's all personal preference. I know a lot of people are waiting for the V8 as I am, but it could potentially be like a year or two before you could even get one. And the markup on those are probably gonna be ridiculous. For me personally, I love the 3.5 EcoBoost. Stock sounds really good, and it's hard to gauge on video how it actually sounds, but for a V6, I think it sounds pretty good. People will always argue that it's a V6, but for what it is, it sounds good stock, and I couldn't be more happy with it, to be honest with you guys. In this video here, like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget, like I said in the beginning of the video, every $5 spent gives you one entry to win my 250 shipped right to you. It ends December 16th, so stay on the lookout. If you want to get some extra deals, you could follow my Instagram at Tyler Monagan, where I periodically might throw in some free GoPros in orders, some free merchant orders. So if you don't follow me there, you're gonna miss out on some deals potentially. We've got a bunch of new stuff on the site, new hoodies, new snapbacks, new beanies. Should stock the Dango Gripper GoPro mounts. If you don't want to miss out and lose your opportunity to win this thing or get some merch, I'd get on it now. With that, like I said, subscribe if you're new, like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.